Oh man, this place is crazy.
Oh, hey, Big Steve. Bro, you're in the fanciest place I have ever seen. Where are you?
This place is super awesome, Noah. I'm actually still at the museum, but right now I'm at the Titanic exhibit.
The Titanic exhibit? What's that?
Noah, the Titanic was a big luxury ship. In 1912 was the last year before it sank. And at that time, it was the biggest, fanciest, grandest ship that had ever existed.
Man, that's super sad it sank. Are there bigger and safer boats now?
Yeah, Noah, there are ships now that are like 2 or 3 times the size of this. It's crazy how big they get now. But yeah, it's funny that you asked that. This ship, when it was built, was actually the biggest, grandest, and they kept saying it was an unsinkable ship.
The unsinkable ship? Well, if it was unsinkable, then why isn't it... Big Steve, are you still there?
Yeah, buddy, I'm over here. This place is so crazy, but unsinkable ship. What they meant was they thought it was too big to ever sink. They kept saying, man, this is so big, it's better than even God and Noah's ark. Nothing can sink this ship.
Well, Big Steve, if it was unsinkable, then what sank the ship? Was it like bad guys or pirates or sharks or sea creatures? What was it, bro?
No, it was nothing like that, man. No spies, no bad guys, nothing crazy like that. It actually hit a giant block of ice called an iceberg in the middle of the ocean, and that iceberg actually cut the entire side of the ship open, and all the water started coming in.
Bro, that's awful. Did everybody get on boats and like get to safety, or what happened?
Buddy, I kind of did think that, and I wish that were true, but you know, as I've been reading all these exhibits, man, it turns out like they didn't have enough life jackets, and boats now, big ships now, they have smaller boats on board that in case of an emergency, people can actually get in the small boat and sail away to safety. Well, they didn't have enough of those either. They didn't have the rules and the safety regulations like they have now, so a lot of people did get hurt, and a lot of people didn't make it home.
Man, Big Steve, that's so sad, bro. I have a question though. Why would they think it was unsinkable? I mean, it sounds like something completely normal and not even that crazy happened, and then the ship sunk and a whole bunch of people got hurt.
Well, bud, they spent so much time building the Titanic. It took years to build, and then it was so big, so much bigger than even the next biggest ship at that time. So no one thought that it could ever sink because it was bigger and it was better and it was newer and it was fancier than any ship that currently existed. So they thought, well, all of this water around it, like nothing can ever happen.
But Big Steve, you just said that something did happen. They thought nothing would happen, but we just talked about how something definitely did happen.
Let me tell you a secret. The Titanic didn't sink because of the water. The Titanic was made to be in water. The Titanic started sinking when the water went inside the Titanic. It's kind of like Jesus and Peter in that one story. Like, Peter didn't start sinking until he started panicking.
Oh man, not Peter too. Big Steve, are you about to tell me that Peter sank because he couldn't stay afloat too?
No, man, no. Peter definitely made it home that night, but he definitely also started sinking because he started to panic and worry about the things that he thought was going to happen. But you know the story. Jesus was right there. Jesus was in control that whole time.
Yeah, Peter and you know what? No, I don't know the story. I'm not gonna make it seem like I do this time and try to fool you and make you tell everybody else, because I, myself, don't know the story, never heard it. So if you could please tell it to me, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So Jesus was doing his ministry thing. He was walking around, he was preaching to people, and he got really tired because he had just preached and did a whole bunch of miracles, so he goes up into the mountains.
How did Peter sink in the mountains? There's no way. The mountains are up here, the water's down here. This is not making any sense so far.
I know, man, but as Jesus went up, his disciples didn't even worry about it. They went and got on their boat, and they left. So Jesus comes back down the mountain, and when he gets there, he realizes, whoa, the boat isn't here. And he thinks to himself, I'm just gonna catch up with the boat. I'm out of here. And he goes out into the water.
Bro, so what, he just started swimming? Is Jesus like an Olympic swimmer?
No, he didn't swim, but he also wasn't in the Olympics. I don't know which of that to just first. We'll talk about the Olympics later and what year that started. Olympics not in the Bible. But Jesus also wasn't swimming. He probably could swim, but he starts walking out to the boat.
Okay, so there was like a dock. Then what's the crazy part of this story? I'm not getting it.
No dock. Like the boat was sailing from where they were all the way to where they were somewhere else. It was in the middle of the ocean, and Jesus starts walking.
What do you mean he starts walking? So like he held his breath and like was on the bottom of the water?
No, like he was walking on top of the water. That's why it was such a big deal. Jesus was walking on water.
What? On the water? Like on the water. Like here's the water right here. Here's the water. And Jesus is walking on it? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. I can't even wrap my head around this.
Exactly, bro, because that's supernatural. Jesus was doing another miracle to catch up.
Okay, so Jesus was walking on water and now he's walking up to the boat? What happened next?
Yeah, he's walking like up to the boat, and then this is what's cool, bro. This is what's cool. The Bible actually says this, is all the disciples look up, and I don't know if it was hazy or misty, but they just start seeing something walk on the water towards them. And like, people, Noah, people can't walk on water, so like they have no idea what's going on, and they think that they're seeing a ghost.
Oh, so the Olympics didn't exist, but ghosts did?
I don't really think ghosts existed either, but like there's always been like, ooh, scary stories with ghosts. And so they kind of had a concept of what a ghost was, but they had absolutely no concept of a human being walking on water.
Big Steve, this is probably the craziest story that you have ever told.
Thanks, bro. So like, Jesus is like, bros, I'm not a ghost. And he walks out. And then Peter's like, what? Jesus? That's you? Can I do that?
So, okay, I get it. So obviously, then Jesus was like, nah, Peter, I'm God, you're human. You ain't walking on this water with me, bro. Way too dangerous.
I don't really know how to answer that, Noah, because you are right. Jesus is God and Peter was a human. But that's not what Jesus says. Jesus was like, bet, bro, get out the boat.
What? So he just gets out of the boat? Oh, bro, that's crazy. I'd have been so terrified.
I agree, Noah. I probably would have been terrified too, but no, he got out the boat, and this is what's cool. He gets out of the boat. He steps out of the boat. Peter, starts walking on water.
Okay, Big Steve, hold up. So obviously, Jesus was out just walking on water, and then you're telling me that Peter was out now, a human, just walking on water, and like, okay, this is all cool, but how does this have anything to do with the Titanic, and why did that make you think of two dudes walking on water?
See, Peter was able to walk on the water because of Jesus. And that's why when he got out of the boat, he was walking on the water. But the moment he let the world influence him, he started to sink, Noah.
Hold on. What do you mean he let the world influence him? Like, what does that mean? Can you break it down for me, bro?
Absolutely, Noah. So Peter is out of the water. I don't think he realized what he was doing at first because he just wanted to get to Jesus. But then he stopped and he takes his eyes off Jesus and he starts looking all around and he realizes he's standing in the middle of the sea and the waves are moving around, the wind's blowing him, and he starts to panic. He forgets who he's with. He forgets who he was looking at, and he only realizes the danger that he's currently in. And when that happened, he started sinking.
You gave me your word that this was not gonna end like the Titanic. Come on, bro. This story can't end like this now. Come on, man.
All right, man. I promised you. And this is where it was cool. Jesus just reached out and he grabs Peter, puts him back on the boat.
My goodness. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. Oh, that is such a relief.
And that's exactly what Peter did. Peter said, thanks, Jesus, my bro, my God. Thank you so much. And Jesus looks at Peter and he goes, bro, you were doing so good. Why did you stop looking at me when I was in control of the whole situation? When they hit the iceberg, everyone started to panic and they forgot what they were supposed to do. These guys had built the boat. They had read every manual. They knew what they could do. They knew what the Titanic was capable of. But when the water started coming in, they started panicking. Just like Peter, when the water started hitting him, when the waves were crashing, he took his eyes off Jesus. He started panicking.
So Peter started sinking because he stopped looking at Jesus.
When we take our eyes off Jesus, when we stop focusing on the thing that Jesus wants for us, when people are being mean to us, or we're in a scary situation, and all we're thinking about is that situation or that person instead of God, our whole life will start falling apart. It'll feel like we can't do it. It'll feel like we're sinking into the water, just like this boat, just like Peter. But if we look to Jesus, Noah, if we look to Jesus, Jesus can do anything.
Yeah, Big Steve, I know that Jesus can do anything, but what about me, man? What about me?
Jesus can do anything. Anything in his life, anything in your life, anything in my life, anything in everybody's life. Jesus can do anything. And that includes blessing us, bro.
Big Steve, that is so cool, bro. That sounds like that would be an amazing big idea, bro.
All right, you heard Noah. Get on your feet. We're gonna say that as the big idea because Jesus can do anything. So I want you to stand up. I want you to pretend like you are walking on water because Jesus can do anything. That's right, everybody. So on the count of 3, we're gonna say that big idea together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus can do anything. That's so awesome, you guys. And remember that in your life. Always focus on him. But that's all the time we got for right now. Bye-bye.
Hey, bingo, what's his name? Oh.